Morgan.
And I'm Jake, and you're listening to
Neverland Navigation Radio,
where we get spooky and we tell you all about Mickey's not so scary Halloween party.
Yeah, we went to the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, and this was my first time ever.
Oh my god, that's so exciting.
It was so exciting.
Have you always wanted to go, or have you just been a little like, I don't care?
No, I've always wanted to go.
Oh, why haven't you ever gone?
It's expensive.
It is expensive. It's kind of a save your extra couple. Don't get coffee for a couple days. Kind
couple
of thing.
A
couple weeks.
A little bit more than a couple days or weeks.
Months.
We're talking about 3 people in my family, so I mean, you're looking at like $400 maybe.
Yeah, the Halloween party can be really expensive.
Yeah.
So it is prohibitive for a lot of people, but a lot of people love it, especially if you're kind of doing the once-in-a-lifetime Disney World trip and it happens to be in the fall, then it can be a really cool and memorable way to plus up your Magic Kingdom day.
Yeah, absolutely. We also have tried in the past to go to the Halloween party. We were scheduled to go with you, like in 2019.
Indeed.
And we were all ready. We picked our date. We picked our costumes, and Jake and his fiance bought their tickets. And then I was like, oh, I need to wait for payday. And then payday rolled around. No more tickets.
Yeah, and
so,
that is the theme, because this year, Not So Scary is 100% sold out.
First time ever 100% sold out. So
that is unbelievable.
That was one of the biggest heartbreaking things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we had planned so much.
Yeah.
And it was just a time in our lives where we were very, very paycheck to paycheck, and I had to wait.
Right.
And, that waiting didn't work out for us that year. But this year, it was amazing.
And we got to do it together.
We did.
And it was it was a really fun night for us as friends, but also for us experiencing something new at Disney World.
Right.
Which, honestly, for us is not rare, because new things open and we have new experiences, but as far as
it's not normal.
Yeah,
we've pretty much done it all, which is why we're bringing you these podcasts and vlogs and stuff like that to try to help you know what to expect and do it the right.
We're experts. I would say.
So doing something new at Disney is doing something new at Disney is a fun and
change
not
of pace.
Not regular experience,
and not so spooky.
This is how I like a Halloween party. Like, I know Universal and Busch Gardens both do a Halloween party that is in fact
so spooky,
and that's not my cup of tea.
Spooky.
I don't want jump scares. I don't like the feeling of being scared. I know some people do.
I like that.
Yeah, it's not my kind of anxiety.
I don't watch horror movies very regularly, but there are horror movies I really like.
There are a few that I like, I like Scream. Is that considered a horror movie?
Yeah, for sure. And I would say that what I really appreciate about Halloween Horror Nights, and even Howl-O-Scream to a lesser extent, is the quality of the set design and the costumes, and the fact that it's kind of this big theatrical production that is so immersive. I think that is what I'm really impressed by. I think it could be themed horror, it could be themed anything else, and I would still want to go, just because the setup is so impressive, From a theatrical standpoint, I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
But from oh my god, the ghosts, they got me. But from a Disney World perspective, they want to make it family friendly and fun. So they also kind of they work within a certain set of parameters to make the party memorable and exciting without making it scary.
Right.
So they've got kind of a challenge in front of them to make that happen.
That is for me, even as an adult, that's how I like Halloween. Yeah. I like it because I don't like being scared.
Family fun.
Yeah.
Do you think they delivered?
I do.
Yeah. You're going back, right?
Yeah, I would go back.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. I love the Halloween party. And
there were some hits and some misses, too, though.
There are some things about it that, take their toll. And, there are highs and lows, but that's what we're talking about today.
Right.
We're going to go through our 5 favorite and our 5 least favorite things about Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should we start at the bottom?
Yeah, the bottom of the bottom.
The bottom of the bottom.
Okay. Do you want to start, or do you want me to?
You can go ahead.
Okay. So my number 5 of my least favorite things is the lines to meet the characters.
Oh. That's my number 4.
Yeah, it is really upsetting how long those lines are. Jake and I were talking about this, and we got there at, like, let's say 6-ish for our night of our Not So Scary, and I wish we would have gotten there much, much earlier.
Yeah.
There was no way that we could do any of... Or there was no way we were going to get everything done we wanted to do. And with the character meet and greets, there was no way we were going to do, like, any of them.
Yeah.
Like, that character meet and greet for Jack and Sally, wild.
Crazy. Always wild.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what I wish
Every
they would
year.
do? For a virtual queue.
A virtual queue.
Yeah. That way
Wouldn't
everybody would have the opportunity.
Like, keep the show times, keep the parade certain times. They offer multiple of each. The
Yes.
one thing that really needs, and I'll even wait in line for the overlays or whatever, the one thing they really need to do a virtual queue for is the Jack and Sally meet and greet.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't monopolize it to the people who are willing to give up 2 hours of their Halloween party. It opens it up to everybody can have a chance.
I would have to imagine that if you paid the amount of money you paid to get into Not So Scary, and then you spent 2 hours of your limited time in that party in line, that would wind up being a disappointing experience, even if that was, like, your main thing you wanted to do.
Maybe,
because the in-line part...
Maybe the situation is that they keep that line open right until the very end of the party, so the smart thing to do is to go at the very end of the night.
Is that a fact?
I
You
don't
know.
That's why I said maybe.
We just saw the line and we're like, no thanks.
We don't have time.
Yeah.
And also, by the time the party was over, I know I was so exhausted and hot that I was like, I don't know that I can stand in a line for 2 hours.
You know what it was?
Like this.
It was that, like, we stood in one place to watch the fireworks show. We stood in one place to watch the show, and that really takes a toll on your feet.
Yeah.
So
and being packed in that closely with people, it gets really hot really fast.
it does. It was muggy.
So by the end of the night, you're not really wanting to stand in a packed queue for 2 hours either.
I would have been upset if I had spent that much time in lines because of the amount of money that we spent for this exclusive event that was supposed to be limited capacity.
You were paying $200 for one picture at that point.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. So virtual queue has got to be... come on, Disney.
Are you listening?
Yeah, that's got to be the thing that comes.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
It's not so hard, because they do virtual queues for
Why would they not? Yeah.
cookies at Disney Springs from Gideon's. So,
Right, or like the pass holder magnets are on virtual queue. So it's not like it's that hard.
You've got it in you, you know? You just gotta...
Right, and if you want to
happen.
have a standby line for people that don't get virtual queues, then that would make sense too, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I don't know about all of that, but
if you want to meet Jack and but also, like, if you don't do the virtual queue, you can't get onto Guardians.
that's true. That's true.
If you can't do the virtual queue,
You don't get a magnet.
you don't get a magnet. You got to figure it out if you want to meet Jack and Sally.
If you're going to get everything out of Disney, you've got to know how to do a virtual queue now. It's just the new way they do things.
And I'm not telling you from, like, a me hating on you perspective, like, oh, you've got to know how to do the virtual queue if you're going to do anything. It's just the way
I
Disney
hope it didn't
has...
sound that way.
You've got to make it... You've got to
Yeah.
understand that is the way that Disney is doing it now. If you want to experience the new things, you have to learn how to do the virtual queues.
And they'll teach you like guest services and stuff like that. We'll teach you for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, we'll do a whole video on virtual queues at some point, I'm sure, because there are a few. That,
And Genie Plus, that's definitely coming.
it's all coming. But yeah, that is a bummer that you spend if you want to do it, you end up spending so much time in line.
It seems like
a waste.
The virtual queue thing seems like a no-brainer to me. But
Yeah.
anyway,
It's a little bit of a
That's
bummer
my number
that they
5.
kind of haven't thought that through yet. The number 5 for me, my number 5 is the overall cost of the party. Now,
that's on mine. That's my number 3.
yeah. Now this, in terms of what is worth it, that is its own discussion, because in some ways I would say that the Halloween party is what you make of it. So it's kind of hard to say, if you go and you only get candy and you only ride, you wait an hour for Peter Pan because that's the longest line in the park or whatever, even during the Halloween party, it can get up to 45 minutes and stuff. If you spend your Halloween party like that, if all you do, you come, you get candy at the very front, you wait in line an hour for Peter Pan, you wait in line 2 hours for Jack and Sally.
And that's your night.
And that's your whole night, of course you're going to think the Halloween party is awful.
Right.
If you can get your act together a little bit, hopefully by listening to this podcast and by watching, we're going to put out a YouTube video all about Mickey's Not So Scary that includes some good tips and tricks for the order of doing things and priorities in terms of like what's available, so you can kind of figure that out ahead of time.
Right.
If you do that, you can kind of make it valuable bang for your buck wise. However, I do think that in any situation, the Halloween party is still prohibitively expensive.
Yes.
For many families and for just people who are looking to experience the Halloween party who don't have an extra $100+
per person.
It just feels like a lot for a non-full day event.
Yeah, I completely agree. And
hours.
if you're not the kind of person that likes shows, or you're not the kind of person that's willing to kind of like find a spot and stick there until the show starts, I can't see this actually being worth that amount of money.
Right.
Because the shows were kind of everything. The three.
They were certainly.
I mean, I'm including
impressive.
Parade in the show.
Yeah.
Because the other things were mostly things you could do during the during a regular Magic Kingdom day, kind of. But, yeah.
You certainly, yeah. If you're not an entertainment person, I would say the entertainment is the takeaway from this. It's the, like, high value.
When I think back and, like, I think, was this a good value for me and my family? I would say yes, but it is, like, really solely based on the shows. Yeah. The entertainment, as you said, yeah.
And the things that really make it worth it for me are the entertainment because they're unique and amazing, but also the idea of the ambiance and the costumes and the pictures. Those things and the entertainment, those are what make up the basis of a great Halloween party for me. So if those things are not as valuable to you, then you're going to suffer and you're going to lose your, you're not going to get what you feel is value from it.
We paid $109 per person in September.
And that's cheap.
And that's one of the cheaper options. If you're going in October, you're going really near Halloween, you're going to pay a lot more. And and
there's an annual pass.
What? Discount? There is an annual pass discount, but I feel like in this case, even more so, it is validated by the fact that if somebody didn't have a park ticket, this kind of counts for that park ticket from 4 to 12. We don't need a park ticket because we're annual pass holders.
Right.
So the 10% we got off, I feel like that...
It's a wash.
I feel like we deserved it because we would have gotten in for free anyway, especially from 4 to 6.
Yeah. You feel like that's them, like, justifying the ticket cost for an annual pass holder?
I'm sure they're just thinking of it the way they think of they're given a 10% discount for everything for a pass holder.
Right.
But in my opinion, if you're somebody that doesn't have a ticket to the park then this counts as a ticket into the park starting at 4 p.m.
Value.
Right. But we don't need that.
Yeah.
We get in the park
That's
anyway.
not value for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So cost is a definite downside.
Sure.
It's also not a long thing.
No, it's not an all-day experience, and they charge for it like it's a park ticket.
And if you've got small kids, you might not make it till midnight, which means you can't even experience the whole 5 hours that they give you.
Right. A lot of people dip out early.
Yes, which is why we would suggest staying till the end if you can.
It's worth it.
You can really the crowds thin out, and then it becomes an even better experience because you can jump in a line, or the last show, you can really get to the front a lot easier.
And in our opinion, you have to make the most of your ticket for the money they're spending. It's just borderline. It's right on the edge of being too expensive.
Right. And for the way that my brain works is as soon as I bought the tickets, I had it divided in my head. This is costing me this much per hour. So that's my value that I'm getting out of this per hour. Yeah. So I'm not going to miss an hour. You know what I mean?
No.
Because that's $25 per person. So that's $75 for me. If you have a bigger family, that might be even more. So
throwing away $75 is...
Yeah.
Some people can do it, some people can't.
Right. So for us, when we do our next party, I think I'll plan a nap in the afternoon so that we can make it till midnight. I mean, we made it till midnight, but I can totally see if we had smaller kids that we might not have been able to.
And if we don't get us wrong, if this is your only Magic Kingdom day and you are tacking on this party to the end of your Magic Kingdom day, that is a different set of circumstances.
Yeah. Everybody has their own,
But if you are doing this on your travel day or on your half day or whatever, I would honestly recommend making the priority of your day the Halloween party so that you can kind of plan around it, like Morgan's saying.
Right.
Get a meal and a nap.
Before you even go into it.
Before you even go.
That way you can make it to midnight.
Sustain yourself with candy until midnight. Maybe a snack. Don't go crazy because we'll get into that. And then you can do what you need to do once you get out of the park. But you've got to make the most of your Halloween party if you are going to justify the inflated value of the cost.
Right. All right. Are we going to keep going with the bottom, or are we jumping back and forth?
Let's jump back and forth.
Okay.
I want to vary it up a little bit. We can't be Debbie Downers the whole time.
Okay, that's fine. As long as we end on a high note.
Yeah.
So, do you want me to do my number 5 of my top list?
Yeah.
Okay, my number 5 was and I feel like we're going to have a lot of overlap just in different spots.
Yeah.
So that's going to happen. My number 5 was the stage show.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
That was way up for you?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
Well, okay.
Yeah, well, so then since that was higher on your list, you explain it.
Okay, sure. The Sanderson Sisters Spectacular is the stage show, not the fireworks show. That's called Mickey's Not So Scary Spectacular, although I think it should be called Spooktacular, but it's not. That's the fireworks show that is hosted by Jack Skellington and is a projection show on the castle with pyrotechnics.
No, I was talking about that I wrote down as the fireworks show.
No, I know.
Oh.
I'm saying that is what...
Oh, gotcha.
That's what the Spectacular is. The Spelltacular.
Okay, sorry.
The Sanderson Sisters Spelltacular, which is not the fireworks show, is a stage show that's basically a little musical that happens on the stage.
Yeah.
The Sanderson Sisters are going to make a spell to create the perfect Halloween party potion, and to make the spell, they need ingredients from several of the Disney villains who come out and perform a musical number,
right?
So that they can make this potion to have their party.
I really loved the Dr. Facilier part.
The plot is fun in general.
The plot is fun, and I like that they brought out some villains that you don't see all the time, like him.
Yeah, and Captain Hook and yeah, it's kind of the variety of them was fun. Oogie Boogie is there,
right?
That's awesome. And they do the full Oogie Boogie song with updated lyrics to match the show. I mean, all of that is pretty cool if you're a nerd who pays attention to that kind of thing. Yeah. I think for most people, though, it's just kind of a fun, funny, lighthearted Halloween stage show that I think checks all the boxes. Yeah. It's got fun musical numbers, good choreography, good costumes.
Yes.
Good use of pyrotechnics. It's got some light use of projections on the castle. It's got a little bit of everything that goes into making a really fun Halloween show. And the singing that the Sanderson sisters do is live, which is like really mind-blowing.
Really and they really sound like the actors that were in the Hocus Pocus film.
And the acting is great too.
Right, and the casting just in general. I mean, it was amazing.
They were like, I just love that show so much. That's my number 1.
Yeah, so I loved the show. That's why it's on my top 5. But where it gets negative marks for me is being a stage show in front of the castle at a sold out event makes it hard to see if you're short, even if you're like towards the front.
And we're talking about like half the people there because it's children. You know what I mean?
Yes. So I am 5'2", and I had a hard time seeing it. And our spot was not bad.
Yeah.
We just weren't directly the front. So there were probably like 5 rows of people in front of us, and I couldn't see everything. Yeah. So that's unfortunate. You know what I mean?
It is. It really is.
That has to make me take marks away because I'm like on my tippy toes, and I'm an adult. You know what I mean? Yeah, it would be even harder for somebody that's shorter
Right.
than me, that's a child, but not so small of a child that you're picking them up and putting them on your hip or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't put them on your shoulder. I mean, I guess a small kid, if you're at the
up
back.
near the front, though, the people who are putting your kids on shoulders, you're selfish.
Yeah, you're not being considerate of the
Yeah.
people behind you and around you.
I will say though, I wonder what Disney can do.
All they could do is have a stage that raises up higher. And I don't know if that's something that could be in the future.
Maybe
where,
they build a riser that is the shape of the stage to
Yeah.
put on the stage
Right.
specifically for the
So-
Halloween stuff. But I wonder if then they couldn't, during the fireworks, then I wonder if they couldn't use the Jack puppet because it's got to walk through that space. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if there's logistical problems that prevent them from
Maybe.
doing that.
You know what made me think of that, though, is I think were you just telling me about Sunny Eclipse being in an elevator situation?
Oh, yeah.
So Jake was telling me that Sunny Eclipse is basically on an elevator.
This is the animatronic in Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe
in Tomorrowland. So that's an animatronic if you're not familiar, that is part of a quick serve restaurant. Absolutely amazing.
What a wild sentence, but
yes.
it's true.
And so you said that the elevator takes him, up or down? Either way, it doesn't matter.
I don't remember.
And so then he kind of disappears, and then a stage is there for any other performers that they might bring in. Like for the Halloween party, they've got something going on in there, some dance party.
Yep.
We didn't go in there, so I didn't see it. But because you have to have priorities because you don't have enough time to do everything. That is that. You cannot do everything.
Yeah, no.
Anyway.
So if dance parties are on your list, then I hope it's because you have kids or because you really want to enjoy the dance party.
Yeah.
Because if you're just doing the dance party to kind of burn time,
you don't have time to
you're
burn.
doing it wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
But anyway, so when you said that, I was like thinking, gosh, I was thinking this, couldn't they put the show where it was, would rise up a little bit
Somehow, yeah.
to make it a little bit easier, because the stage isn't that high up.
It's not.
So yeah, it's hard to see if you're short. It's hard to see if the show is packed.
I feel like it's kind of only a matter of time before they end up putting, how you go to a concert and there's those two big screens on either side of the stage? I feel like that's coming.
And even though I'm sure that would upset a lot of people, it would make it so much easier for somebody like me that is short to the point that I don't get to see a lot of the stage shows. I don't even bother with the stage shows normally because I cannot see them.
Although it really wouldn't have helped you this time because it's not like there would be a screen in front of you.
Right, but if it was up into the sides like it is at concerts.
Yeah, maybe.
At concerts, the stage is in front of you and the screens are up and to the left and up and to the right. You know what I mean?
Right.
That might be helpful.
Yeah. Hey, I wouldn't be against it. I think it would upset people because it's not a concert and it's Magic Kingdom and it's not magical. But you know what is magical? Including people.
Yeah, it's not magical to not be able to see it because seriously.
It's not magical. $109 to not see your show.
Yeah, and again, we got good spots, but it doesn't matter when everybody is level and you're not the tallest person there.
Right.
So. It kind of sucks that I've never really bothered with stage shows. I don't even bother with the fireworks shows with the castle projection because I can never see it.
Right. That does suck.
Yes, it does suck.
That's
and so I think that's why we have this show at a different place on our list.
Right, because I am a tall human. I'm a 6'1" person. So I see it literally from a different angle. But
Literally from
it does. I also agree that Disney needs to do something about that.
Yeah.
Because it's not just an occasional thing. That's why there are children
It's
up in
not
the
like
air.
I'm exceptionally short.
It's half of the people there.
Yes.
At least half of the people there. I think it's rare that everyone around Morgan is tall. Morgan's husband is tall. I'm tall. Tyler, my fiance, is tall. We're all the tall people.
Even my child's taller than me.
but it's not because Morgan is short. She just happens to be surrounded by tall people. Disney needs to do something for average heighted people who cannot see this show.
Yeah, right. It really is unfortunate. I think that when we have done Magic Kingdom top list, this is also why you have fireworks up there. And I'm like, I can't even see it. I can see the fireworks in the sky, but that's no different than I can see that anywhere. It's not it's not as magical to me as it is to you because of...
Now, fireworks are actually a little bit easier to get a good spot for because you don't need to see the bottom of them to enjoy them.
You mean the bottom of the projection of the castle?
You can see the rest of the castle. For this show, like, you have to be able to see the bottom of the castle.
Exactly.
Which is, like, such a tiny little sliver of the castle.
Yes.
Like, the castle is not really designed for that. It's designed for fireworks and for that kind of thing. So it is a little bit of a shoehorn in to put a musical there because that's really not what the purpose of that stage is. That stage is not supposed to accommodate all of Main Street seeing the show at the same time. Right. And the hub, you know.
And everybody that's going to this party is wanting to see this show.
Yeah, and there are multiple show times, but that can only get you so far when there's so many people in the park.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
We wound up seeing the show before the midnight show, but if I had to do it again, I would wait and watch the midnight show.
Yeah.
Because there's even less people. Maybe we would have been able to get even further up, but...
And that's the end of your party, so it extends your party a little bit, too.
Right. But that being said, we would have to be, like, in the literal front row for me to really be able to see everything.
And then you're like...
Yeah, your head's tilted up like
I
you're
actually don't
in
like
front
to be
row
in
of
the
the
front
movies.
row of almost anything.
Yeah.
Broadway, theater, anything. The front row, you miss stuff because you can only look directly in front of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of sucks any way you cut it. We need to get Morgan some stilts and call it a day. You know, it is. You know, it is what it is. All right. Good to know.
Back to the bottom. Okay, my number 4, did you want me to go?
Yeah, because my number 4 was the meet and greet lives. So you are...
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, I just don't want to, like, run over what you...
No, you are all good.
Okay, this one's a little bit of a weird one, so get ready for that.
Okay.
All right. My number 4 con to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is... the gamble you take on the weather with this super expensive night.
I didn't even think about that.
Because
is such a good...
Luckily for us, it did not rain on our night, but I have seen so many people talk about it raining on their night, and we had this experience at the Typhoon Lagoon party. What was it called? H2O Glow. Twice we got rained out where they actually... told us we couldn't stay and had to leave. In this situation, if it's pouring and thundering and lightning, they don't tell you have to leave. You're still paying that money. You don't get to like leave and come back another day.
You just are wet now.
You're just in a really uncomfortable, terrible situation.
And also, they don't always do the shows if there's lightning. So, like, you lose the shows.
So, for me...
Which are, by the way, the
reason you're there.
The best thing at the Halloween party. So, like... That really... Oh boy, if they canceled the shows when we were there.
Can you imagine? Ooh, I would have been actually upset.
That is upsetting.
Mad.
Yeah.
So
at the sky.
As a warrior, I was worrying about this happening for weeks.
You're a warrior.
Yeah, right. So, and I'm trying not to like upset my family or Jake with this worry, so I'm not like vocalizing it. I'm just like internally having this constant, oh my God, what if it rains? Oh my God, what?
Lay your burden down.
Yeah, well, now that we've done it, you know what I mean? If I would have said it, then you or Bailey would have been like, you're jinxing it.
I actually am really appreciative, even though I don't think you should do that. I didn't even think about the possibility of it raining one time, so that made my night a lot better, I think, because I wasn't worried about it. But if I were worried about it, I would be worried about it. Now, next year, I'm going to panic.
No, you're not. You'll forget.
I will.
Yeah, and I won't bring it up again, and we'll be okay.
Also, we're coming right off the heels of 2 rainout situations.
But also, I kept seeing people on the, like, pass holder Facebook page showing, like, pictures of lightning and during
social media is rotting your brain.
Oh, yes, it's true.
Happens to everybody on the planet.
So that was a big worry for me.
Yeah.
So that's why it's my number 4.
I did not even think about that. I'm glad that was on your list because that's important to discuss that, that is a potential situation.
Yes, and if you're a person who had that happen, oh my gosh, I'm sorry for you.
There's
Please comment. Yeah, we'd love to talk to you.
Yeah, unfortunately that, is kind of...
we can relate with the Typhoon Lagoon experience, except for this is worse.
I was going to say it's bound to happen in Florida.
Yeah.
But them not issuing you a refund is not bound to happen. You know, that is their decision. So that does
Well,
suck.
yeah, normally the night rains stop in the fall, but they're not really doing this party in the fall anymore because we start in August. Yeah.
This is, in Florida, there is no difference between right now and a couple weeks ago. It is still hot and humid. It is minus maybe like 2 degrees or whatever.
Yeah, well, the temperature says it's minus 10 degrees, but it doesn't actually feel different.
Yeah, because our heat index based on humidity.
And it's still raining at night. All I'm saying is it's not October when we're going to the party, which maybe it's October when you're going to the party.
And by the way, October in Florida still sometimes it's 90 degrees. So like, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is it still raining at night?
Oh, yeah. It is not. It's not quite the rainy season.
Not quite as much.
That,
yeah.
All right.
All
right. Should I do my number 3 on the bottom?
No, you can jump back to your number 4 on the top if you want.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. My number, well, did I even do my number 5?
Oh, no, do you see, I knew I was railroading you. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. My number 5 is candy, because I love candy.
Yeah.
I think candy is fun. I don't eat candy almost the entire rest of the year. It's just not something I go for, really.
Right.
But there's something about trick-or-treating in a costume with your friends at the Halloween party that it just makes you feel like a kid.
So my number 4 is trick-or-treating as an adult.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that just like...
It was...
It heals your childhood
Yes,
a little
and
bit.
it surprised me the way that I was like, oh my gosh, I'm trick-or-treating.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Hey, spoiler alert, Disney adults are just healing their childhood trauma all the time, but it does feel nice to like have that friend community experience of going and getting candy, and Morgan and I are going to trade candy tonight. You know, all of that
all
is
of
just
the little kid stuff.
an extra layer of, you know, Neverland style fun.
Yeah. Right? So that's a great one.
I love that. And it's not that, listen, it's not even that I love candy so much. It's just that.
Yeah. No, it's just a fun experience.
It's a fun thing to do.
It's like being a kid again.
Yeah. It's the value of it, though.
Sure, yeah.
The emotional value.
We could have gone and bought a bag of Snickers and a bag of M&Ms for $4,
At
but
these prices nowadays? Just kidding. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but
We can
that's
get
not
candy.
what.
We're adults and can get candy whenever we want.
Yeah, that
That's not
wasn't
the-
it.
Yeah.
It's just the weird funness of being an adult that's trick or treating.
And like in a costume and in Disney
And
World.
cast members are complimenting your costume.
Yeah, it's a fun experience.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, my fiance and I went and he was dressed as Maleficent, and he had like a headpiece, and he had done his makeup and stuff, and all of the cast members were telling him how great he looks and how awesome the costume was, and like that type of thing is like really cute and fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was my number 4. Do you want to do your top number 4?
Sure. My number 4 was kind of similar as the dressing up of it all. And even like, and taking, I'm going to throw into this the photo ops that they do. They set up some really fun photo ops around the park.
Yeah.
Like you can be in the Headless Horseman scene, or you can be in the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea poster.
That was so surprising to me, that 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
What a fun
because
throwback.
It was fun, but I was like, oh, this isn't really Halloween, but
No,
I mean,
just
it's still
spooky
fun.
a little bit because it's the octopus thing, you know, tentacles, whatever. I think that dressing up and taking photos in those photo ops with all the cool ambiance going on, I think that was really fun. I really enjoyed that part of it.
We do Dapper Day, so we do that kind of dressing up, but this is like a whole nother level.
Yeah, this is like, I would say this is, in some cases, less uncomfortable than Dapper Day.
Yeah, but you do need, if you're going to do costumes, you need to think about your comfort level.
Absolutely. I am here for light fabrics. I am here for turning your pants into shorts. Like if your character wears pants, maybe your costume is the shorts version of that,
right?
Etc. Or if you are a character who's got layers, the jacket is something that at some points in the night when you're feeling hot or in a crowd can come off.
Right. If you're listening and not watching, Jake dressed up.
Right.
He's from Guardians of the Galaxy. Is Peter Quill.
Right. So that anything that has a coat or a jacket that you can take off is always better than wearing something that is like a big ball gown or something, or a three-piece suit that's all the same thing that you are stuck in the entire night.
Yeah, you need to think about that. And shoes. I brought red shoes. I wore and am wearing a Captain Marvel kind of outfit, but it's like a dry fit t-shirt, which made it very comfortable temperature wise.
Recommend that too.
Yes, yeah, I thought that was a really good trick.
Clothing items that they make that look like costumes,
but that are actually just a t-shirt.
Running shirts. That's really,
and then I wore blue leggings, and then I had red boots that I was going to wear with it with heels. Never even changed into them, and my feet were still killing me at the end of the night.
Consider your footwear.
Yes, consider your footwear.
Huge part of it. Leave your Crocs at home. Leave your flip-flops at home. Those are not going to support your feet no matter what. But also, if your character is going to wear high heels, then maybe in your bag you wear those for the pictures. But maybe in your bag you've got your sneakers that are still the right color or something. But
or even not. People still will love your costume if you're wearing tennis shoes with your.
The most important thing is that your feet aren't falling off at the end of the night.
And they might be anyway, even in sneakers, because there's a lot of just standing and waiting. I feel like walking for me doesn't hurt my feet as bad as just standing in one spot for hours.
I agree. That's when you really start to notice how bad your feet hurt.
Yeah.
But also, I wore boots with the costume that I'm currently wearing.
Yeah, you regretted that at the end of the night, right?
But they're the same boots that I had worn years prior when I went as Scar. I had the same black, like, combat type boots. And that first time, they killed my feet. Blisters, they hurt really bad.
Right.
This time, now that they're more worn in a couple years later, they did hurt my feet less. They did still hurt because they're not the most supportive thing.
Right.
And I didn't follow my own advice and bring sneakers. But
it's very tempting to just go all out on your costume and not think about how you're going to feel, but really you should.
You should, especially if you're, like, family people who need to, like, consider what your kids are wearing too.
Right. If you're going to become mean because your feet hurt, then maybe think about your feet.
Yeah, especially if you're that type of person. Definitely. But breaking your shoes is what I was going to say. Might be another good tip.
Yes, that is a good tip. Yeah, because your shoes got better over time.
Exactly, yeah. They still did hurt a little bit because I didn't bring sneakers like a fool, but they did hurt a lot less this time because they were already well worn in.
You know, and I have even worn, like, kind of ballet flats before with a dress thinking that would be better than heels, and it was still terrible because there's no support. Yeah. You're basically walking on the ground. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Especially if you're old like us. Just kidding, we're not old, but if you're not a kid anymore and you're someone, I walk all day for my job, my actual job, not this job, but for
this job too.
For this job too, both of my jobs I walk all day.
This is the only time we get to sit down.
So it really beat up my feet. So, like, shoes with good support, big deal. You know?
Right. I need a good supportive tennis shoe. Yeah.
I'm getting new. I'll let y'all know how it goes. I found some new shoes. They're called Cloves. I can't believe I'm giving a brand name out on this podcast. Gosh. Maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah, he hasn't tried them yet.
I haven't tried them yet. I'm going to let you know how it goes, though. You'll have to come back to They're shoes for nurses, basically, but they're available online. Hey. Check out. But what I'm saying is I haven't tried them yet, so I'm not like. But what I am saying is look for stuff like that. Look at your options that are like supportive footwear.
There are occupations like nurses and flight attendants that they know the shoes to wear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how I found these.
Whenever I'm looking for like a comfortable heel, I go, okay, flight attendant black heels or whatever.
Right. Really smart.
Yeah, because they walk through airports. They're on their feet. Are you writing this down?
This is good advice. I've never heard what you just said before.
But your nurse's thing is exactly the same.
It is the same thing. Yeah. But like that's just another example of like this level.
That one really helps with heels because most airlines will force them
to wear. Right.
You know, fancy shoes.
Right. That is a really good. That's really good advice, not just for your costume shoes, but for park shoes in general.
Yeah.
Get the footwear designed for people. Make friends with a flight attendant or a nurse. But, like, buy the footwear designed for the people who beat up their feet.
Yeah, exactly.
Because this is, that's the level you're going to be at when you're at Disney World.
What good tips. All right, what are we on now?
Look at everything you learn listening to our podcast. Do you want to do number 3 at the bottom?
Sure. Oh, no, number 3 was cost for me. What's number 3 for you?
Food.
Food is number 1 for me.
The food was. You know what? Was yours a case of expectation versus reality?
Yes. So I'm gonna change it to number 2.
Gets you every time now.
Yes.
Yeah.
The food is so pretty.
The
The
food is
pictures are
pretty.
so pretty.
They really lure you in.
My gosh. Everything that they make is very Instagrammable.
Yeah, it's true.
Very much like, oh, definitely take a picture of this. But eating it, that's another story.
I'm going to say something controversial, I
Go
think.
for it.
My advice for you at the Not So Scary Halloween party is to not eat the food.
Yeah, I definitely think, and we have talked about this, but I think that you should eat a big meal before you even go in. And I'm talking like a 2 o'clock kind of reservation or something like that.
And then sustain yourself with candy.
Yeah, and all you can eat so that you're still full for hours, and then candy
Or bring a healthy snack into the park. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you can do that.
I mean, I get the lure though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're at the Halloween party, you want a Halloween treat.
We knew that it might not be that good because it's Magic Kingdom, and we notoriously are like, Magic Kingdom does not have great food. But yeah, this was very disappointing. We could name what did we have, like 6 or 7 things?
The Hades hot dog, the chicken.
The Hades hot dog was my favorite thing because it was different.
Yeah,
But
it was. But the buffalo chicken pie.
Okay.
The poison apple milkshake.
Out of everything we're about to name, those 2 were probably the best of this list of not great things. But okay, so the not poison apple milkshake, that was terrible, but it was so pretty.
Tasted like nothing.
The witch's cold brew, not good.
Bad.
But the foam on top was good.
But the coffee,
Yes.
it
was like black coffee.
It's like they forgot to do anything with the coffee.
It was like iced black coffee with a pumpkin muffin flavored foam on top.
Yeah.
Which that foam I would have eaten a whole cup of.
Right.
But the coffee, yeah. Okay, go
Poco
on.
Loco tater tots that were
They were tater tots.
frozen loaded tots that you could get from like any baseball game. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that kind of.
What was on top of them? I don't even remember.
It was like it was chives and some kind of cheese, like shredded cheese.
Oh,
and
was it like cheese sauce?
I think it was cheese sauce, and then also like a spicy sauce, like a spicy mustard or something.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was not mind blowing. And then there's.
It was also not cocoa at all.
No.
And with the Hades, I think they put like purple mustard on it, which is again fun to take a picture of, but
Whatever.
yeah, it also didn't even match
tail,
Hades. The Binks tail,
which is like a chocolate pastry.
that was my least favorite.
Honestly, it's a race to the bottom. I thought they were all overpriced,
Yeah.
under quality level.
Yes, I like even a Starbucks chocolate croissant, and this Binks tail was basically should have been a chocolate croissant, but it was like a Costco boxed croissant with crappy chocolate on it. It wasn't good.
It tasted
Again,
like
it was pretty.
Duncan Hines chocolate frosting from the
Yes, on top of
Tub.
on top of a Costco croissant or something like
yeah.
that.
It's just no home runs. You know?
I mean, I'm just saying Costco because I know they make stuff in bulk.
we did not try anything that I would recommend. So in that
Yes, I wouldn't spend my money on it again, and everything was at least $6.
in that vein, listen up. Around spring of next year when they announce the menu items, and you will know from social media and from us who try everything whether or not they finally come out with something that's worth stopping and getting. But until that happens, do not eat the food at Not So Scary.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to buy it for the picture, buy it for the picture, but know that that's what it is.
No, that's all it is.
Yeah.
You're not going to get, it's not filling food, it's crap, and it's not,
It's not.
high quality food.
Not
it's
high
theme
quality.
park garbage, it's what Magic Kingdom has
They know better now
made
too.
their
I don't
money
know why
on
they're
for
doing
all
this.
this time is garbage food at a
And
premium.
there is a lot of Disney World food that we love.
Yeah, even in Magic Kingdom, there's good Disney
There is
food.
good. Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's just not
It's just
at
This
this
is
party.
not it.
Yep. All right.
yeah.
Yeah, food was my bottom number 3.
Okay, and so it's my number 2. So I only have one left.
Okay.
Do you want me to say it now? How many bottom cons do you have?
I've got 2 more bottom cons.
Okay, well then.
And I've also got 3 tops left.
Okay, do you want to go back to top?
Yeah.
All right. What number are you on? You have 3 left, so you're on 3.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you want to do one?
Sure. My number 3 is ambiance, just in general.
Yeah.
Ambiance / decor. I love the pumpkins everywhere. I love the fall banners and themes everywhere. I love the Halloween statues that were like going along the walkway that when you're
the
getting
entrance.
even the like Halloween bags that they give you to get the candy that have Mickey and say "Boo to you." So cute.
Yeah, really fun. And they also hand out to you like a poster that has artwork for the party at the end.
I totally forgot about that, but that was really like a magical extra that we were you expecting it?
I had seen a picture that they were handing it out.
I didn't know.
But it's so much more pretty in person. I really think it's like I would frame it.
I would frame it too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Gorgeous.
I've got a Magic Kingdom room in my home, so it might find a place over there because I do love Halloween and I do love the Magic Kingdom. So.
Yeah.
And the art style is really cool. But in general, like the decorations and stuff, I really think that they're really nailing it.
They
all
really
throughout
are.
the park.
Yeah.
Because even where they don't have decorations up, they've got cool lighting packages. Like at Space Mountain. In Tomorrowland, they don't have a ton of decorations.
They don't have
in
a ton of
Tomorrowland,
pumpkins, yeah.
But they've got projections on stuff, they've got lighting places, and Space Mountain is totally lit up in a really cool changing Halloween color scheme.
Yes.
And those little touches, it's like everywhere you turn, there's Halloween all over the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
It's like Halloween has engulfed the Magic Kingdom.
Yes.
So like they really nail the immersion of like everywhere you look it's Halloween. That's how it should feel at the Halloween party. And they knocked it out of the park.
And as weird as this is going to sound, because it also makes me sad because it's at the end, my favorite decoration is the See You Real Soon pumpkins.
Yeah.
When you're leaving. Oh my gosh, those are so cute.
I look forward to seeing them every year because they are like such a magical little touch to say thank you for spending your evening, here.
And they're like flickering and
They're cool. Yeah.
They're very cool. I think they do a great job with the whole vibe.
Yeah, and there's some really fun detailed ones too, like above Casey's corner on the marquee there are baseball themed jack-o'-lanterns that line the top of it. That's such a cool touch.
There's a pumpkin that has a picture of like the symbols you would associate with the restrooms with an arrow above where the restrooms right on Main Street are, and I just thought that was laugh out loud funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That is so funny, but it's also like...
It's a pumpkin telling you where to go to the bathroom.
The fact that they thought through that to make that a jack-o'-lantern, first of all, fun meeting. But second of all, great.
Yeah.
Love
what
it.
are we going to put on this pumpkin right here? Oh, we will direct people to the bathroom.
Yeah. Gotta do it somehow. Might as well make it spooky.
Yeah.
That's fun. Yeah.
Was that on your list?
No. I kind of lumped that in a little bit with the, like... costumes and photos, and because I think the ambiance and the photo ops and all of that, it's really just like the setup for the party. I think the setup for the party is really effective. You know what I mean? The package of the party, the overlay that they do to Magic Kingdom visually, I think it really accomplishes its goal.
Right.
Yeah, so that's definitely a big one.
Okay.
My number 2 bottom, let's go back to the bottom. My number 2 bottom is overlays.
That's my number 1.
Attraction overlays, specifically.
That's my number 1, and now I'm out.
Of everything?
Of bottoms.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, why don't you talk about the overlays then, because I still have a bottom left.
Okay, the attraction overlays are a complete joke, in my opinion. I am super disappointed.
America, trash. These are trash.
Yeah.
Are you listening? These are garbage.
Yeah.
These are embarrassing.
Embarrassing. Like, it... So in Disneyland, they do the Haunted Mansion holiday, which is where they, like, Jack Skellington and the whole Nightmare Before Christmas takes over Haunted Mansion, and that is crazy amazing. So you've already got that in my head of what an overlay should be, but that takes months for them to set up, or a month, or something crazy like that. So I wasn't expecting that, but I was expecting something.
This is no Haunted Mansion holiday.
This is not even...
Doesn't even get close.
I hate that they use the same word to describe
Overlay?
Haunted Mansion, holiday, and what they've done here. There are four rides that got a overlay.
Garbage.
I put that in quotes. And
Do you want to go through them?
I'm going to go through them.
Okay.
Yeah. So Space Mountain.
This is the worst one of all.
This is the worst one of all. We didn't even go on it. Once Jake told me what that meant here, I was like, oh, I'm not doing that.
That's not an overlay.
That's
a lie.
Yeah. So on the outside of Space Mountain, they have some cool lights, but that's not what they're talking about.
Nope.
They're talking about when you're on the ride, they make it pitch black.
They just turn
The lights off.
There are already practically no lights in there, but they project stars and stuff onto the ceiling and stuff in there. They just turn everything off.
Yeah, I heard you can't see your hand in front of your face.
Great.
I don't want to do that.
What, is that supposed to be scary?
And that's not scary. That's you turning the lights off.
It's already dark in there.
Yeah. What did you say earlier? That's a budget cut.
Yeah, that's not an overlay. That's a budget cut.
Shame on you guys. That's not an overlay. That's not a Halloween overlay.
Don't you think what they're actually doing is just redirecting the crowd a little bit? They're telling people, okay, it's too crowded during all the shows. It's too crowded at these landmark attractions that people are trying to get a low wait time for at the party. Let's throw some people on the teacups. Let's tell them that the teacups are something they need to ride.
Something.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. They're like luring them in there to deflate wait times, and they're just giving them the exact same ride that they can ride anytime.
Yes, Space Mountain would have been an easy one, like we were talking about earlier. It would have been an easy one to change
Put
because
scary music in there.
Yeah, scary music or projections that aren't stars. Instead of stars, you do something else.
Yeah, pumpkins. Ghosts.
Ghosts is, I think, what they've done in Disneyland before.
Ghosts is a very normal, natural fit for that.
I think it would have been perfect.
Yeah.
So then in Teacups, it's just a lights thing, right? Is it music?
I don't think it's different music.
Okay, so it's a lights thing. They just changed out the lights.
It's a different lighting package, yeah.
Okay, that's that. Then there's Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, which we don't go on anyway.
Oh my god. Talk about a joke.
Yeah.
So they have I'm getting so mad. They've got a candy trail there for Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor.
And what that means is that's, because we haven't explained that yet, that's where you, if you haven't been, that's where you go in to get your trick-or-treating candy.
You go through the line there, and a lot of them, it's just going through the attraction queue to get your candy and then going.
Right.
This one, you go through the queue, and the exit is through, you have to go through the theater, through Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor.
Where they're bullying people.
So you have to watch this, like, insult comedy thing that they do, and being conned into being in that room is, like, bad enough as it is, because I hate being in there. But then to call this an overlay when it's literally just the normal show, it's not, like, fun and spooky in there. They don't hang Halloween lights from the ceiling or do it.
Yeah, I didn't know what they even meant by this one has an overlay.
It's just the exit for the candy trail.
Yeah, I didn't even understand that one.
Disaster.
Yeah, I assumed that the monsters would be in Halloween costumes or something, and I don't know if they were, because for me, I was like, when we were walking in there, I'm like, we're not getting sucked into this terrible ride, are we?
Spoiler alert, we were sucked into that terrible ride.
And everybody's like, no, this has got to just be where you go trick-or-treating, and then they'll let us out somewhere else. Nope, we got sucked into it, had to walk through it, and so I held open my bag to get candy and then like speed walked out of there.
Be with us, y'all. Look at what we do for you. We've been in Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor twice in the past 2 weeks. I literally have not been in there for decades.
And I'm never going again. We did a Tomorrowland tour that we're going to premiere on YouTube in a little while. Mm-hmm. And we were like, oh, we have to do everything. So we went to Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. It's maybe even worse than I thought it was when I haven't been on it in like 15 years, but
it's an abomination.
I was so uncomfortable the whole time. Anyway, and then the fourth one is Pirates, which sounds like the best Halloween overlay.
Not that the bar is real high, but they actually do something in this one. So
but
yeah,
we didn't get to go because it was closed for the whole night.
We did get robbed. It's not their fault that the attraction was experiencing downtime, I would say.
So you're going to have to explain that one since you've done it on another year.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate for us that we didn't get to do it, but we did get to do it, Tyler and I, years ago.
Yeah.
It was... they add live actors to the attraction, so they've got one in the queue, and I believe it's just one on the ride that they put kind of on the bridge that's above you in the Pirates ride, right before the fire scene. And the actor is just kind of interacting with the people in the boat, kind of.
In a Halloween way, or?
No.
Not in a jump scare way either, right? Because I've heard that it's...
Just a pirate yelling at you.
How is that Halloween?
I guess it's
just
supposed
different.
to be a little spooky or something, but it's not. It's just an actor yelling at you. So, yeah, they do, but they do something. And they sometimes, if you're dressed as a pirate or something, they'll do an extra interaction with you of some kind or whatever.
Sure.
But it's not all that. That's for sure.
Right.
You know, it's just a little something different for them to say. We did something different here.
Yeah, but I mean, I just feel like it would have been easy to actually do something different on a few rides, and there just wasn't.
If you were a skeleton pirate, that could have been more fun, I suppose.
Or I just feel like there's a bunch of other rides that they could have done something on. Like, I think that Jungle Cruise, they could have done the same basic stuff they do for Jingle Cruise,
right.
but with, like, putting some pumpkins and stuff like that
Right.
along where you're going. That could have been something easy. Space Mountain, like I said.
Jungle Spook.
Yeah. Anyway, I just that was very disappointing
The
for me.
overlays are my number 2 on the bottom just because they're so disappointing.
Yeah.
They're not overlays.
That was my number. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you have left?
I've got 2 top 5s left, and I've got 1 bottom 5.
Okay. I have. Oh, okay. Well, then we can go to top 5s.
Okay.
I only have 2 left. Did you say you have 2 left?
I have 3 top 5s.
Okay. All right. And one of mine you've kind of already done.
Well,
so.
2, because you already did the Spectacular, the Sanderson sisters.
Right.
So that was my number 1. So I've got 2 left.
Okay. So, well, one of mine I'm just going to say was costumes, but it's not like you said earlier, but I think you were more talking about us all wearing costumes or like having the opportunity as an adult to wear costumes, where one of my favorite things was just kind of like sitting there and watching everybody else's costumes.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, especially some people really take it like to the next level, and
God be with them.
yes, it's really fun to watch.
Yeah, some people who are wearing the Mad Hatter and they're wearing a top hat, a wig, a full coat, and a scarf. I'm like, are you alive in there?
Yeah.
Do I need to get a medic?
Okay, yeah, but I mean, like, watching the kids in their, different outfits and stuff like that, it's just a fun thing to watch.
Oh, no, I'm not saying it's not fun. I'm saying I commend those people
Yes.
for, like, going the extra. I don't recommend you do that. But if you are going to do that, if the highlight of your Halloween party is going to be sharing an amazing costume that you're wearing,
and you don't
then
mind
I'm
them.
not going to be the one who tells you it looks great. I love it when people go all out. It's really fun to see. I'm never going to be one of those people.
I love it when people do something kind of unexpected, like not one of the like big movies from this past year, or not one of the like
or a fun like hidden like an extra character that people don't think about very much or,
or a
like
lot
that.
of times you'll see somebody that did something from the parks, like
that's
a
really great.
haunted mansion character.
There's
or
a lot of haunted mansion stuff.
Sometimes they'll dress up as certain cast members and certain.
I do love that when they dress up in the cast member Halloween costumes. Those are really cool.
Yeah. So it's really fun to get to see everybody's costumes.
Yeah, totally. I think that is like, it's like people watching, but it's like an hours long costume parade of all the fun adults and children, and of course, who doesn't love a group costume? I love it when a family is everyone from Toy Story.
Right.
I love it when a family is everyone from Frozen. Like, we all went in Marvel. We were all kind of an outfit.
There was a giant family that all did Dalmatians. You could tell they were on like a family reunion or something. That was cool.
Kind of amazing. Like, I love the creativity that goes into picking some of these costume ideas.
Yeah.
People really, they go for it.
It's so fun to just people watch. So what's your... I only have one top spot left.
Okay,
So.
I've got 2. My number 3 is Boo to You, the parade.
Okay.
Did we already talk about that?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Boo to You is the... did we talk about, like, the opera singing...
No.
Hen?
No.
No, okay. It's the the highlight of the Boo to You parade. The Boo to You parade is their Halloween parade that happens all throughout Frontierland, Frontierland and Liberty Square and Main Street and all that. It is a multi-part parade, usually led by the Headless Horseman, who was not there when we did it, but he's
So we don't know if he's gone permanently or if that was just our night, but go on. Unless you know. Do you know?
No, I don't know for sure, but I'm saying for years past, it was always led by him, so I don't know if he was just gone for our night.
Sounds cool.
Or I hope he's not a budget cut.
Yeah, I hope not too.
Because he's kind of amazing. Because he rides horseback and...
Real horse?
Yeah, real horse.
Oh, wow.
Really cool. And then it's also got a Halloween, it's got a Halloween part. It's got a Haunted Mansion section.
That was my favorite.
The bride on like a rolling platform dress thing that's really
and her
cool.
dress is like lit from the inside.
They've got the grave diggers who like scrape their shovels and
it
spark
sparks.
up the concrete.
Yeah.
And they've got hitchhiking ghosts.
That also look like...
What did you love about the parade?
That the Haunted Mansion part was my absolute favorite part.
Yeah, I love the Haunted Mansion. And I think they did that part of the parade really well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But they've also got all the villains and...
They didn't have as many villains as I thought they would.
Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't say all the villains. They had a villain
could have taken
section.
out some of the sections that were a little weird and
Let's
put in
talk
villains.
about the section that needs to get cut out.
Yeah, that
The
chicken
farm section.
Yeah, that was weird.
Weird. Like hay rides and corn mazes and all that, I think is what they were going for. it just doesn't fit in the rest of the parade very well for me. I think that section needs to go, and I think they need to. Now there are newer villains.
Yeah.
They've added some villains in recent years. I would love to see some of them. I'd love to see some Coco stuff. I know there's Nightmare Before Christmas in the fireworks show. I would love to see some Nightmare Before Christmas.
I know.
Imagine if they did, because they didn't use this at all, imagine if they did the Spiral Hill from the Nightmare Before Christmas movie, and they had Jack and Sally as animatronics on top of it. That would be incredible.
I was shocked that there wasn't a Nightmare Before Christmas section.
Yeah.
And I was shocked that there wasn't a Coco section.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising from Disney.
Yes, yeah. Because they had a Coco snack.
Yeah, use your IP. You're getting new Halloween-themed IP, and you've got classic Halloween IP like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah. And a lot of this stuff was like borderline Halloween.
I would have loved to see... Oh my gosh, this would have been amazing. I don't know if they can do this here, though. I would have loved to see... They probably can't do this here because of Universal Studios. Oh. But I would have loved them to see a Doctor Strange Wanda float or something, or even just them in the parade. Because if those characters are represented at all in Marvel Superhero Island at Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, then they can't be used in any way here for entertainment, for rides, for anything.
Just in Florida?
Just in Florida, on this side of the
But I don't think they use Wanda over there.
Mississippi. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I don't know if Doctor Strange and Wanda are like decorations over there or face characters you can meet over there. I don't really remember. So if they can use them, I would because
that would have been great.
Because Multiverse of Madness, the latest Doctor Strange movie that had Doctor Strange and Wanda in it, was a little bit more horror leaning.
They would have had to plan really ahead to have that ready by now when that movie just came out this year.
But also I would have loved to see Wanda and Agnes because they're witches. Like it's it's
so
spooky.
True.
It's Halloween. And WandaVision's been out for a hot minute, so it would have been cool to have imagine Agnes, with her book and the Dark Hold.
And that would have actually been a really good promotion for the show that's coming out.
Yeah, I would love to see them be a little bit more on top of representing the newer things.
Yeah, they didn't have Marvel at all.
This parade could have been the same as it was 5 years ago. There's nothing new in it.
Is that true? You think?
Well, there are some...
From what you remember.
Well, like, the fireworks show is newer than that. So, like, that's not what I mean. I don't mean there are
No, I'm talking about the parade.
Oh, the parade.
You think it was pretty much identical?
I think the parade has been the same for
a while.
Many years.
Okay.
But I'm saying the roster of IP that they use has been the same for a really long time.
I know.
There's no new characters.
That chicken that we were talking about a second ago, I feel like that's from a very, very old cartoon.
Yeah.
And just like, what?
Why is that there still?
Yeah.
It feels like that is easily replaceable.
We like a lot of the like deep cut old classic stuff, and I can't even identify who that was.
Why are you here?
There was another one that was like that too, where I was like, what's happening here?
There were some
But I can't remember specifically what it was.
There are some spots in Booty U that need to be updated, but overall, I would say the production quality of the parade is cool, and it's such a different... I miss nighttime parades at Walt Disney World, and this is kind of a nighttime parade. It runs while the sun is out for the first showing, though. But there are lights. There's lights and stuff.
That's what I need from a nighttime.
It does kind of give me the feeling of a nighttime parade, so I appreciate that from it.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Yep, that was a really good point. Okay, how many do you have left?
I have one bottom and my number 2 from the top.
Okay, go with your bottom.
My number 1 bottom thing about the Halloween party is the general uncomfortable feeling that you can get from it being crowded, from it being hot, and from your feet hurting. Now, some of that is beyond Disney's control.
Yeah.
And it is something that you have to factor into your party day, but it is a reality of the situation nonetheless.
Yeah.
So it's something that you need to kind of plan for as you go.
Yeah.
But now if your shoes give you blisters, you need to put on blister guard type Band-Aids or whatever.
I would suggest just bringing that stuff.
Yeah.
If you're going on a trip, bring something that will... I mean, I was in, like, pretty regular tennis shoes last night, not even at the party, when we were doing other stuff, and I got a random blister.
Yeah, it happens,
It was just a bad sock and shoe combination that you just don't even see coming. And,
right. Because you don't think about it.
Right.
And then the heat, you have to, like we said, plan on maybe if you're doing a costume with layers, maybe plan on being able to take one of your layers off and you still be comfortable. Plan on having times where you know that you're going to be in a hot crowd of people for a while and do what you need to do to prepare for that mentally, I think. Is a big part
bring
of
a
it.
battery pack so you can play like games or something. I mean, and I don't mean individual games, but like you could do trivia. We do trivia sometimes.
Heads up, people do that.
People
kind of
do
thing
heads
all the
up,
time.
yeah.
But like, don't let your phone die and then you're standing in a hot crowd waiting for a show to start. Like that, you're not going to enjoy yourself if you're not prepared. So I would say my number one, unfortunately, even if you are prepared, these are still things that get you down a little bit because, it can be really hot and then you're feeling overheated and, those things are beyond Disney's control, but they are still my least favorite part of the Halloween party.
Yeah, and I will say to go along with that, another thing that I have a hard time with, especially with party kind of things or things like this, where there are shows involved where you have to stand in the same spot for a long time, is that you need to stay hydrated.
Yeah.
But then you also don't want to be like leaving in the middle of the show to go to the bathroom.
Exactly. It can be hard to
I
take
find
those
that-
moments
yeah.
for yourself that you need.
Yeah, I find that to be a difficult balance.
You know what they should have? Water everywhere.
Yeah.
Like we're all marathon runners, what I
Right,
mean? You know
right.
how they've got, everyone's handing them
Yeah.
water? I feel like there should be water stations all over because even when the sun goes down, it's still hot in Florida. at
Yeah,
night.
well, and you're running around, yeah.
And you're potentially wearing a costume. So, like, overheating is something that you're kind of at a big risk for. So, that should be something they address a little bit better, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your number one?
It's the fireworks show.
Oh, you're gonna tell me. My number one is the Spelltacular, the Sanderson sisters. My number two is the fireworks show.
Okay, yeah. I thought that was mind-blowing.
The fireworks show
To
was
be
amazing.
fair, this is the first time I've ever seen the projections on the castle, because of the reasons that we talked about earlier. But yeah, Jack Skellington was awesome. The fireworks were
puppet.
awesome.
Yeah.
The projections were amazing. That whole storyline
The
was
trick-or-treating
great.
storyline?
Yeah. So
Fun.
Mickey and Minnie and chasing Zero around. I thought that was so fun.
Yeah, Zero leads them into a haunted house. Behind every door, there's something spooky.
Yes.
Yeah, really fun. Like, what a fun concept. I told Morgan this earlier. It really did feel like one of those Disney Channel 2000s Halloween specials. It just had that
Yeah.
kind of vibe to it. Like, it was
Classic kind of thing.
Yeah, like it was a Disney Halloween special. It really did feel like that.
That is what it felt like. You're completely right. And I don't know if the projections are always that good, and I just haven't seen them because we got really close for this one.
Yeah, we got a good spot.
But the projections were really, really great.
Really impressive. So colorful, so vivid.
Yes.
Such good ideas for what to project.
Yes.
Yeah, they really took. This is a fairly new one. I believe it was 2 parties ago that this projection. There was for a long time they did Hallowishes,
Oh.
even during Happily Ever After.
Oh, wow.
They still did Hallowishes.
Okay.
Which was like the Halloween version of Wishes, which was the fireworks show before Happily Ever After. But that was the show all the way with no projections, all the way up until I want to say 2 or 3 years ago when they introduced this new show, and I think this is one of my favorite fireworks shows ever at all.
Yes. I
Not-
mean, it would be like my favorite, but again, I've never really seen the projections, so this was a whole new ballgame for me.
Right. This
So
definitely
when you
was
went in
high quality.
2019, you think that was the first time they did it?
Yeah, I do. I think that might
Or
be the
close.
first time.
Yeah. That's cool.
2019 is probably when it rolled around, and it is really impressive. I love Jack
Very
Skellington,
impressive.
so I was really happy to see him.
You said that's a puppet?
Yeah.
Like, how does that work?
Did
Do
you
know?
not see?
I could see him, but
No. Did you see the people?
no.
So he's a huge puppet.
This was the hardest part for me to see because it was on the stage.
Well, you're not supposed to see these people, so this is good. He's a huge puppet, and he's lit with blacklight. And there's a crew, I don't know if it's 2 or 3, people behind him dressed all the way in black with poles controlling his limbs and stuff. And they
Right.
do a really good job of making it look really fluid because
Yeah.
it's really well rehearsed, but they also just blend into the background. Now, I'm a theater person, so I was kind
Yes.
of looking for them.
Right.
But I think for most people, he just looks like an animatronic. Like
This
he
is like an
looks so
updated
fluid.
version of what they do in that Little Mermaid show in Hollywood Studios.
That show is
You
not
hate
reopened
that,
since
right?
the pandemic, and I don't know that it's ever going to come back.
It probably won't.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, they were in black costumes and like carrying around.
Yeah, that was also a black
Neon
light.
fish.
It's that situation, but done really well.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, I
cool.
did not see that.
And I feel like Jack Skellington was the perfect narrator for this.
Yes.
His voice is iconic, his laugh is iconic, his appearance is iconic.
Right.
So, like, taking that, making him the host, the narrator that kind of begins and ends the story, and letting Mickey and his, the
Yes.
Fat Five be the stars of the
Projection part, yeah.
For me, that crossover just works so well.
Yes.
It's the perfect blending of idea.
Yeah, I thought that whole thing was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, I just had a smile on my face the entire time. I felt like in awe.
Yeah.
With all of the changes the castle went through.
It's the
through
high quality
projection.
type of show that you would hope from Disney.
They
delivered.
Right. This wasn't like cheaply done like some of the ride overlays.
Right. This is where
They
the
went
quality
all
was.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, there you have it. Those
Yeah.
are our favorite and least favorite things about Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
Yeah.
They're sold out for the year, but hopefully next year you'll have an idea of what you should avoid and maybe what you can look forward to if they continue to offer some of our favorite things.
Yes, and we can keep you updated on when they're going to start selling tickets in 2023 if you get on our social media.
Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Neverland Navco, and you can also visit us online at our website.
Neverlandnavigation.co.
That's kind of our home
Home base.
home base,
Yeah, if
yeah.
you scroll through that page, you'll see links to everywhere.
And you can check out Morgan's blog on there. She does a write-up for every video that we post to YouTube. You can follow us on, subscribe to us on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, hello, our visual podcast people. You can subscribe to our YouTube at Neverland Navigation Co. Or if you're an audio-only listener, hello in your ears. You can find our podcast anywhere online, Apple, Spotify, wherever you're listening to it. That's where we are.
Yeah, we're all over.
And please go ahead and subscribe to our podcast and rate and review us to let us know if you're enjoying listening so far.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you again on our next adventure.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.